Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God. Um, I was forced to go to an all boys Catholic LaSallian school for high school. And part of LaSallian schools is that at the beginning of every class, you will say that little prayer. And after a while, you say that, 8 times a day for 4 years. It just kind of becomes words you say. Like you say bless you when someone sneezes. You're just kind of, they're just words after a point, not really any intention behind them. So after you graduate, that just kind of goes away from your memory, which was the case with me until today when seemingly out of nowhere that popped up in my head. I was just kind of sitting in silence and it just kind of came from the depths and recesses of my mind. But I knew that today I kind of wanted to talk about the pain and guilt that I've been going through the last few days because it's been especially intense. Or let me rephrase that. I've been increasingly reminded again and again recently that when these roadblocks come up, this pain arises, I can't run away from it. And I used to do that every time. I would do whatever I could to escape that pain and not have to deal with it. But with the knowledge that I'm on a journey, that the spiritual path is leading me in a certain direction, it necessitates that pain like this needs to be confronted and dealt with. Otherwise, it's just going to manifest another way. So as I was feeling it, I was trying to really find that source. I was feeling angry at people. Like I was having road rage for the first time in a very long time recently. I was feeling jealous of other people for having things that I didn't. And I knew I didn't want that. The entire time I was like, but I believe in God. Why is this going on? This shouldn't be happening. And I was really trying to find it. But what I learned was I was attempting to find the cause externally. Trying to find the first domino. Who set me off that first time that just put me in a bad mood the whole day. And what I've really come to learn is that that's just not the case. That's a complete misunderstanding of how this entire dynamic works, because every external negative, whatever you'd like to call it, problem, I guess, it all starts internally. Every time you perceive someone as against you, it's because there's something inside you that thinks that you deserve to have them against you. What is it that you did to deserve this pain that others are imposing on you? Where is this guilt stemming from? And as I was sitting with this before I started recording, I remembered that prayer popped back into my head. Let us remember we are in the holy presence of God. That's what this is. That's all any of this is. And it seems I continue to lose sight of that again and again. And it allows me to see those external factors as separate from myself. To forget that this is all one thing. That there is no other person that's against me. I don't have enemies. There is myself and the separateness that I allow myself to perceive because I allow myself to forget that I am in the holy presence of God, the one moment that exists, the totality that is now. It's so easy to to allow the past to exist, to allow the future to exist. When you don't keep that in mind, in the moment that those come into existence, the moment you allow yourself to believe that that's possible, that there is another way things should be than the way they are, I mean, then it's game over. Then you're fighting a losing battle that you cannot win. I keep having this visualization that, like, I'm in the ocean and I'm like a substance in the ocean, like a wave crashing on another wave, and they like fight against each other, and one wave overtakes the other, and then that wave gets overtaken by another wave, and it's this constant battle of like wave overtaking wave, of who comes out on top. And then I just continue to not be able to see that it's all the ocean. The idea of a wave is just a definition I've made. A separation it's all water. Like, where can I draw a line on where a wave starts and ends? No, that is all in here. There is only the holy presence of God. Trying to think that there's anything else, trying to fight against that truth, that absolute totality of truth, only can bring pain. Because you're trying to lie to yourself. You're trying to bring into existence an illusion. And you can't do that, you know? You can try and try and try, but eventually it's all going to crumble. None of this is real. You think you're in the United States? No. You're in God, brother. There's so many houses of cards that we build. True houses of cards that just... with the simplest gust of wind, they fall. And we ask, why? Why could you do this, God? Why are you pushing over this card? Is this not fantastical enough for you? I dedicated this house of cards to you. Why don't you accept what I'm doing? When again and again, I'm reminded that no, God doesn't need to meet you where you are. You need to meet God, because God is the absolute. God is what is. I think, at least myself, I have a tendency to personify God and be like, if I can just convince God, or like get in God's mind and like see what God thinks, then I can get in like God's favor. And if I do all these nice things for God, God's going to reward me. But no, that's not what it is at all. That's such a illusion-minded way of thinking. There is no favor to get in with God. There only is what God wills, and whether or not it's what you will. You need to be open to that. And when you live in a world of illusions and believing that those illusions have any real bearing on the final outcome of where you're heading, you're only going to find disappointment. I find when I'm at my most peaceful, when I feel most connected to God, I'm not trying at all. I'm just allowing. Because isn't that the kicker? God's will is our will. We just need to allow that to align. We need to allow ourselves to remember that we are in the holy presence of God. That's all I got for today. I appreciate you watching to the end. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, night, morning, whatever it is. Peace. I love you.